Tashidelek Rinpoche.
Tashidili.
Tashidelek Geshe-la. Tashidelek everybody. Lingmincha Poland is honored to invite you to the last day of webcast with one of the greatest living teachers of Bon tradition, Trinley Nyima Rinpoche. The theme of today's lecture is the spiritual path and material life. You are cordially welcome to the webcast.
Welcome everybody. Rinpoche Jabo Koba Rinpoche Balmumpe Tsonan Jonje Rinpoche Mare Nedon Zerwa Membe Zome Chodo Jirwa Moye Tunge Danda Tsoge Meje Bon Zendam Peje Dembe Zemba Bokawa Nazo Dando Nande Zeba Nazo Daro Jinjenje Size Shida Gonze Juni Jamba Jembo Korwa Jonze Bajera Trivi Kola Solvade. So today I'm going to talk about some spiritual path and some material life, how we do balance, how to be life together like with balance. So this is a really also very important subject because you are really living in this world, in this material world. Also, it's really something you need to really something spiritual practice for your life to become happiness, to joyful. So first, Keshe Chabur and me going to 9 breathings, same like yesterday, and later we're going to against chantings with mudra of 5 elements with 6 syllable. Then we continue a little bit meditations. Then we do, I think I will go to talk more about spiritual path and material life. So now we are going mudra of 5 elements with reciting 5 elements 6 syllables. So these 6 syllables with mudra and chantings, you try to brings energy of the great positive energy of the five elements and essence of the holy something like an object kind of like, for example, like holy mountain, holy trees, holy lake, holy oceans, something like this is energy. Try to bring into your body, and your body is like a body, speech, mind, everything's like three doors is something more energy, more stronger power, and more something like like a recover. So this is I think says for to become what we call healthy, and to become also sometimes something like we call is the wealthy rituals. Also you really you getting something is auspicious, precious like energies. So this is a syllable of the space element, also mudra of the space elements. And so this is something is a acid syllable, the symbol of the acid syllable. A letter is is a part of the Tibetan alphabet. In Tibetan alphabet, we have there's 30 alphabet. So A is the last one, last alphabet, and in the during this syllables mutra, or maybe something like chanting at that time, so you really bring the essence of the space elements into your heart. So your heart try to open, and your wisdom try to open. So this is really also very important. It's also very useful and very powerful. Then second yam yam syllable, also mudra of the wind elements. This is a syllable of the wind elements. The mudra is like will, like korlo. In Tibetan we call will korlo, and this is color is blue. Then the color is green. Color is green. I think this is a little bit. And during this reciting, chanting mantra, and so you try to bring the energy of the wind elements, and bring to your bodies, and your body's speech, mind is something like try to like more is powerful and stronger energies. Then third one's ram syllable. This is syllable of the fire elements. And the ram is a syllable of the fire elements, and the color is red, and the mudra is like flaming, is flaming. The fire is flaming. So we call this is a ram, is a color, is a red. So there's also something like a different shape. But during this chantings, ram, six syllable, also during the mudra of the fire elements, at that time try to great essence of the fire elements bring to your body, and your body is more something like what we call energy and power and stronger. So this is also is very important. Is your body is really depending to five elements. So without five elements, your body couldn't live. So that's why it's very important. And now fourth one is water elements. The six syllable calls name mum, and mum mudra is like kind of you do like this. And for fifth one is earth elements, like mudra, like those you do like this jewel. We call this is something that is a mudra of the jewel. So this is five elements as a mudra, and really this is something like if you really becomes healthy, becomes wealth. So this you can use this symbol, so five elements mudra. Then so now just without singing, chanting, so without a mudra, you can do so. What we call is like something like visualize with meditations. Try to bring the five elements energy and power to your bodies. Okay, so now we do a little bit meditations. So I'm going to a little bit talk about how to inhaling, how to exhaling your breath, and the meaning of the mudra. So there's we call salung tulgor, the breathings, exhalings, inhalings. In this, there's the Tsalung Tulgurs is like what the walking channels and the inhaling, exhaling, the breath. So there are so many meaningful. And during this inhaling, breathing, exhaling, in the teaching set, there's 4 types, kind of like first you bring inhaling. Inhaling is the essence of the great wind and pure wind into your body. Then after it's almost full, then you do against with keeping holding the breath, and against so the second time try to breathe inhale. Then this is the second one, and the first one we sings Jing Jiwa, something like um, first you feel into your body's whole part of your body is filled by the breath. The second, like against, you put in the container some like rice and barley and wheat seeds. Then again, if you do something like stick, use a stick more and more. Then this it's barley and rice is going to more and more. Similar, like when you breathe first time like this, pull again with holding, again second times breath, inhaling like this. And the third ones we see something like is like very put in the container like oceans, without moving, without storm or maybe wind. The ocean is very like stable and very like not moving very far, not very moving, so almost like full. Similar, your breath is always you have to something fill your body's all channels. Then fourth one, when you couldn't really hold your breath, then scent. Like we say, it's like the exhaling breath is a kind of like shooting arrow to the target, similar like this. So this at that times all kinds your negative emotion, obstacle, obscuration, or any others like evil, bad kind of something, bad karmic tendencies, everything try to send out, try to cleanse and purify it. This is something this is very important. And salung tulgoro, this is very good for beneficial for opening your channel in the from the tantric teaching things. It really if people has everybody has a channel in the body has channel, but also the channels without opening, and there's so many wisdom kind of this positive wisdom is going to block. That's why is Salung Tulgor is very important. The second is mudra. Mudra we do first like is we call meditations, hand postures. And the second one you do like this moving, like lotus flowers, like lotus flowers moving like this. And third one, like you do say syllable, or there are so many like wind, fire, like this all kind. Just this say syllable. And the fourth one, this is something like so liberate, something like, or maybe it's purified, cleanse it, everything something like done. It's a sign of this done. For example, like when you make chapati or bread, first you have to prepare everything, think about something, where is my wheat flour, where is my baking powder, where is the water, everything's thinking, before like this. So we are visualizing something is very, now his mind is keeping control, or maybe that's really going to walk. Then second, like mudra is like moving. This means like kneading the barley, wheat, flours is kneading with water. So this is something like making. Then after you made like this is like you made it bread. Then fourth one, you eat it. Something this you take it, took it. Then fifth one, we saying so like then staying in the natural mind, or maybe staying in the emptiness. It means really you become very successful and satisfied. So kind of this is like similar like this. Okay, now I'm going to little bit talk about spiritual path and material life. So really, I think this is a very important subject. Oh, we are living in this world, in this planet, material world. Especially this modern lives is depending to our lives depending to material. Uh, is very important. Without this material, it's very difficult to live. Also, without spiritual practice, something like spiritual inner practice, uh, it's only just following, only just some, what you call just going after this following after the materials life. Then sometimes it's very difficult to it's you get very like something problem and suffering and painful. So it's I think it's very important to balance. And a spiritual practice, some say in the ancient times, there's many, some great practitioners, spiritual practitioners, they're going to cave and a remote area, just there's nobody's, so near the practitioner, and there's very less distractions. They all just forget all this samsara, just living like a wild animal is in the cave. So there's completely they decided separating from the samsara or this material. Uh, so that's why it's a different time. So now you are living in the big city, in the this is this 21st century's world. This is a time is really is we are very dependent to the material material. For example, if you like go to really teachings, you need plane ticket, you need something like there's so many preparing. You need spend time. It is not easy. Also, it's it's very expensive. You need really something like material kind of. This is important. Somebody's asked to me, Westerner, I like become monk, I like becomes nuns. After this, it becomes something very suffering, painful from the relationship or from the family problem, from the health issue. Sometimes this is really a trial in this samsara world. Then there's someone asking me, can I come become a monk or nun? Then I said, this is really different. You wait, because to become nuns, to become monks, very easy. It's to continue to walk is not easy, because different cultures, different environment. You are living in this West, and also different culture. So that's why I am always saying that wait. It is not easy, to become monk, to become nun, or maybe take vows. Okay, easy. Maybe after maybe 2-3 hours is you will get, but after took vows to keep continue, it's very difficult. This is very important to think about before. I mean, this is depending this material. And but some people's just only following after the materials, really is making money, making wanting, always just wanting. This is something like really, it's really speech still. The brains that is just empty. Brain empty means spiritual part is just very empty. We need really two wings, samsara, nirvana, something like this is like two wings. Then you can fly. Without one side wings, only one single wing, you couldn't fly. Similar, samsara, nirvana, you need really good balance. Then you can live very good, happiness, joyful. You do work, you do practice, spiritual practice. This together is very important. Sometimes, when you get something, relationship problem, or maybe health problem, maybe something like family problem, there's so many financial problems, so there's so many problems. And at that times, if you do something spiritual practice, at that time you realizing this is a samsara. Okay, I don't care. I have to really be patient. All these things sometimes happening, some get problem, health problem, some relationship problem, relative family problem. They be saying this is a previous lives, there's something like karmic tendencies. It's like something I have to repay. So this is I have to be patient. No problem. It doesn't matter. So this means making yourselves more power, stronger, encourage. This is really important. Otherwise, if you don't do spiritual practice, only just follow after the material, then when you get something problem, like kind of like financial problem, relative problem, relationship problem, all this is a health problem, then you say, why I became like this, why I get like this problem, why? Then you become depression, and this is very stressed. That's all. This is a really then it's becoming some big problem and unhappiness, and it's very difficult to live. Not enough just materials, not enough just spiritual practice. You need both. Really important is um, for um, for example, some people's there's some people living very rich and very wealthy, but the inner spirituals in the mind is very stressed and a very depression. I saw. I have many friends. One of my friends, he travel different places. He told me, so one time he visited very rich family places area. So there's everybody is like looks like not smiling, not looks like not happiness. And one time he visit very poor country places. Everybody is very smiling and very laughing and very looks like very happiness, joyful. So this is very, and one also myself. One of my friends, they took me to this very rich places, rich family living places in America. Uh, so they said all these families are very rich, maybe millionaire, everybody's. Okay, we shall go. But I'm not very interesting to see this rich like kind of this. But I am as just ordinary monk. But okay, I need to really get some experience. It's different experience. We went there, and there has a main gate. In the main gate to enter, to go to the sightseeing in this rich family area, rich people's area, we have to pay something like ticket for the enter. Then I told my friend, oh, this is those family, those people is not rich, because we are giving donation. We give donation for sightseeing, to come to here, to see this. For my place, you don't need pay. We are not asking donation for to see, to look my area, my place, my house. Then it's just I joke it. Really, also one of my friend, he's really stressful. He has enough money, material things like the house, everything's enough, very successful. But he's very stressful and depression. Then I asked to him to come to India. Then I invited. I show how the people living in India, there's local people, the village, small village people, and there's not very good, financials and facility. Even they don't have bathrooms, toilet, they also don't have it. But they're very smiling all night, singing and dancing and laughing. It's very happiness. So I show him, so look at those people living like this problem. But there's still very happiness. This is really important to know, and the spiritual practice and this material life is very important to balance. And I want little bit 5 minutes left. I want ask the question to Kesha Chapur about history, a story, what experience about the monastery monk's life. Because he come from the monastery, he lived in the monasteries many years, since I think 6-7 years old. So he have lots of experience about the monk. I became teachers many years ago, so I forgot this ordinary monk's life. So he has experience. I think it's better explain from him. Please some explain to those peoples.
Tashidele. So tonight talk is blessing by Rinpoche. So, but that's before we prepared webcast for tonight. So my friend say and Rinpoche also say you should share a little bit experience about monk's life and Westerner's life also. So basically, usually I'm thinking the Westerner people, Westerners, and like Asian people, or not much difference. Basically, inner is not much difference. It means all the people wanted happy life and joyful, sympathetic joy, equanimity, everything we needed for unmeasurable great qualities is the same thing. But the one what is we missing is like in the Western people missing spiritual practice, and Asian people most missing material life. So for my life is come from the spiritual life, became material life. So I'm going to share a little bit about how to balance on my life. For example, in the monastery, I used to live in monastery for 15 years. I studied about Sutra and Tantra, Dzogchen, about Bon, so from the Rinpoche, and another teachers also. So when I was in the monastery, the life is very simple. Simple means we did not have much like Westerners, like financial things, or like comfortable, like cars or luxury houses. We do not have anything, I think. But just very simple house, in which before mentioned already, like even the bathroom is very small bathroom, and at that time, I don't know exactly this day, but when I was in the monastery, even the food is also not really good as us here in the West. But we are satisfied. We do not think about it, the financials. We just thinking about it, the practice. Everyday life to practice, like a study about how to say, early morning, maybe 4 o'clock. Most monks wake up 4 o'clock, then till midnight. To just practice whole life, whole day, and weekly, monthly, yearly. So finally, we don't know when finish the year. It means why? Because joyful. Practice is joyful. It comes spiritual practice. That's why, so I have that experience. And so since 2010, I moved to United States, and right now I'm living in San Francisco. So we have organization center, Jelsin Institute. We have also. Please, you're welcome anytime. We are already there. So sometimes in the West, my life is financial, like how to say, like staying at the house, or like eating like very nice foods, maybe Italian food or Chinese food, or like Mongolian food or Turkish food or Polish food. So many different, we can choose it there, right? That is for me is good. Good means how to say, I have the the foundation of the enough is enough. I'm always saying to the students, I say, enough is enough. That is my practice. In Tibetan we say chokshi. Chokshi means like how to say, what do you have? Okay, that is perfect. That's enough. Right? We have enough, right? That is very important. We know about our enough is enough. So for example, I also before I talk about a little bit like restaurants or like shopping malls or like coffee shops, so many different things, right? Sometimes I'm using, that is too much for me. Sometimes they signal me and calling me by my spiritual practice from the monastery. They say, okay, now you should remember your enough is enough. So I'm thinking, okay, now really that's enough. So anyway, the spiritual practice and the material practice compare. How to say compare is okay? How to say compare means like a balance is very, very, very important. And also spiritual practice means, I'm saying sometimes to my students, I say, spiritual practice is not sitting on the comfortable cushion or maybe burning some incense, maybe light some candles in front of you, maybe backside of you, they're like maybe tankas or maybe statues. That's not only spiritual practice. I'm saying you should use your spiritual practice on time. On time. Spiritual practice is you can practice on the street. You can spiritual practice is in the restaurant. You can spiritual practice even in the airport and the train stations. That is very, very extremely important. I'm always saying my student, you should use your practice on time. So it means I'm saying, for example, maybe someone, just giving an example, a person, he or she, doesn't matter, maybe someone is very angry for you, maybe jealous for you, to you or for you. At that time, what do you think? I'm saying at that time, maybe you have really inner mind, or at that times very, your anxious comes, or stressful, or angry comes. What come at that time? You just look at just yourself. At that time, you see there is something. What is? It is ego. Whose ego? Your ego. That's correct. So who make that ego? You make yourself ego. So Dzogchen teaching says always roundel means like liberate. It means just self-liberate. When you become angry or comes ego, you do not try to ego put outside of your door. Just leave it. Doesn't matter the directions, like east directions or north directions, south directions, it doesn't matter. At that time, just leave it, release. Then you will feel much joyful because you could release your ego. So that's it. My little bit practice about the spiritual practice. How true I am practicing about spiritual, and especially my life now most time in the West. So I'm a little bit. I do my best about the balance, something like that. So thank you very much. So then maybe Rinpoche will talk.
Now I think we do some pray of Sibi Chalmo and Isha Walmo. So you just pray for yourself or for your family, for your this planet, or for all sentient being, especially whatever you wish for it. If you wishing something good business, wishing you good health, good to something good relationship, whatever you wish, you can just pray to Ishe Walmo and Sibityalmo. Ishe Walmo, Sibityalmo is the main protector of the Burn traditions. And sometimes I'm sending message, monthly message. I'm not sure every month, but sometimes I'm sending message every full moon, new moon, auspicious days. You do pray this, you do this, you do this. Sometimes I'm sending message. If you want to know, really, if you want to get this message, you can check in this my website, Chungzong Wasal link. My center name called Chungzong Wasal link. There's kwling.org. So there's usually I'm sending the monthly message. Okay. So mama zanjo ma wo kata dra bunga yenje yum kawa chinso bonden zube che kane je ja manjo se ja ma ye bo ba zamje je so so ja dra zmango ye ne Charlie Zin Gavian Danton La Jachan Pendan Jende Dormiezo Nyajo de Barin Chen Dano Ligra Corno Dende Zi Tanye Dravin Chobe de Dangan Dada Ponlo Yunche Naza Dunga Chida Chio Pai Baza Zimche Tena Machena Paro Chenda Bodon Jivanze Bagilonje Uja Chandon Mai Mamon Kandro Zije Parmezo Zada Shawan Sonja Jana Nam Tsaze Me Bomba Yewen Zaten Sudan Junjo Bebe Tse Waja Ugo Chamo Ngande Je Shalom Ge Dayam Nazo Je Salam Jala Dunjan Davyo Pong Abo Dagan Dubi Dungan Yame Bondan Childan Chile Jo Rasa Yana Menje Jo Baje Laja Sanje Demba Nyambozo Shazam Mamon Kandro Yenje Yum Sabje Yanje Yemje Jinje Ha Zumba Shaji Danton La Akara Yondon Tembi Janzen Zubajo Mai Tu San Sanje Karjon Tamo Che Mancho Sabi Jamo Yenje Kondon Tena Nam Ke Zendan Je Kala Ma Chan Zebi Tabaso Shaye Nam Chara Ti Da So Cho Yambe Tse Bo Shen Che Tse So Ye Che Wan Mon Kor Dan Je Ba La De Tse Men Se Jen So De Bo Je Yong Zhuang Bon Jie Den Pa Nian Bo Son Zhe Xian Da Jian De Bon Dong Zhuang Da Jia Bon Long Kor Dan Je Ba Ye Men Tai Jian Da Ba Je Ma Kalo
Yinso yimji jiwanzo so mama rayonza so mama rayonza so mama rayonza gozanda
And you.
Thank you, Rinpoche, very much.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, you're right. This is now is the central channel.
Yes.
With this right channels, left channels, central channels, flower, color. It's a very good transmission sign. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
You
Geshe-la.
come here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So everybody's thank you so much for listening and watching for my lecture.
Ligmincha Poland would like to thanks very much for the opportunity to host such an outstanding teacher, Lopon Trinley Nyima Rinpoche and Geshe-la Chaptur. We hope that this first born webcast from Europe will initiate similar events in the future. In such case, we will let you know about it. And we would like to invite you to the teachings of Rinpoche from 23 to 24th November at Warsaw. Lopon Trinley Nyima Rinpoche is going to give the teachings and empowerment of long life. To see details, please go to the website of Ligmincha Poland. Thank you for watching us.
Thank you.